Hello, my friend. It's good to be with you again this week. These past couple weeks, we've been talking about loving God and loving your neighbor as much as you love yourself, and what it means to be a good neighbor. Remember the story about the man who stopped to help the man who'd been robbed and hurt and left by the side of the road? He was a good neighbor. But the truth is, none of us are good neighbors all the time. We hurt other people's feelings by saying something mean, by not listening when someone is telling us something very important, by getting scared and making up something that's not true, by taking something that doesn't belong to us. There are a lot of ways in which we all just aren't good neighbors sometimes. But you know what? The wonderful thing about us as people, one of the many wonderful things about how God made us, is that we can always change. We can always learn. We can always do better and be better neighbors, no matter what we've done. Today's story is about a man named Zacchaeus. He wasn't a very good neighbor, not just to one person or two people, but a lot of people. He hurt people by cheating them and stealing from them for a very long time. But even he was capable of learning and doing better. Let's hear how the story goes.
Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus, but he was too short to see over the crowd. He stood on tiptoes and jumped up and down. He tried to squeeze through to the front, but no one would let him through. Why doesn't anybody like me? He wondered. But he knew the reason. Zacchaeus was a tax collector who had become rich by cheating the townspeople. Then Zacchaeus spied a tree. Aha, he thought to himself, I will climb that tree and have the best view of all. Then Jesus stopped under that very tree and looked up at him. Zacchaeus, Jesus called out, climb down, for I am coming to your house today. Zacchaeus could not believe his ears. He jumped down and ran home to get ready. That man is a liar and a cheat, the townspeople said. Why is Jesus going to his house? Zacchaeus realized they were right, and he was ashamed. When Jesus entered his house, Zacchaeus said, Lord, I will give half of everything I own to the poor, and everyone I have cheated I will pay back 4 times the amount I stole. Jesus smiled. Dear Zacchaeus, he said, today you have become a new man. Now you can truly stand tall. The end.
The story says that when Zacchaeus realized how he'd hurt people, he felt ashamed. Do you know what ashamed feels like? It's not a very nice feeling when you realize you've hurt someone and you feel terrible inside. We all feel ashamed sometimes. Feeling ashamed doesn't mean you're a bad person. You're a good person and you are so loved. And when we feel ashamed, it's a chance to think about what we've done and think about how we might be a better neighbor. And if we're very, very brave, we can even say we're sorry and try to do better with the person that we've hurt. That's one of the bravest things that we can do. That's why I admire Zacchaeus so much. It's hard to change your ways when you've been doing them for a long time, and he'd been hurting people for a really long time. But he felt ashamed, and he decided to change. He decided to do something different and to be a better neighbor. We all can change. We all can learn, and we all can be better neighbors. That's a pretty amazing thing. Let's close with a prayer. Please read along, or have a grown-up read along.
Dear God, help me to be honest and fair. Amen.
This story comes from the Children of God Storybook Bible by Archbishop Desmond Tutu.